Hey there, and welcome to the promised video I spoke about a few days already ago. This is a video where we are going to look into my analytics of my channel. So you guys basically have told me that you're really interested in how this looks like and what is going on my channel and stuff like that. So this video, first of all, will go out a day ahead to my Discord. So as a big thank you for reaching 1,000 members in my Discord channel, you'll be able to check this video as an unlisted video. I highly ask you to not share it outside of the Discord, please. That would be amazing. And tomorrow it's going to go live on Hump Day, just as a little special thank you to my community for being so nice with me. And also, there is one thing I'm not going to show you, and this is the revenue. I will have to blur that out for everything. It's not because I don't want to show you. I will actually give you a good idea of how much it is. The main reason why is simply because I have to deal with taxes, and since YouTube sometimes is a little bit vague when it comes to the numbers, and you know, the tax office in Germany does actually do quite a lot of stalking and do look in these kind of videos, and they would take that for granted and then kind of point the finger at me that I gave, you know, a wrong number, even though the number is not wrong. But YouTube just ongoing changes the amount of money you make simply based on how the performance is right now. And for example, if I get a copyright claim a few days later, then some money will go back for the amount of stuff and clicks I had that I couldn't monetize, for example. So I have some old videos where I use some copyright free music, for example, and 2 years later, for whatever reason, the music is all of a sudden licensed, so I have to, so to say, pay back all the money I made for that. Fortunately enough, early enough I changed to a network with music, so that this is fine. Anyhow, so let's have a look. This is the dashboard of my channel. So you can see the last video I've uploaded at this point in time when I'm recording this is the Australia Great Barrier Reef. It's doing pretty well indeed. So you do have this, for those of you who don't do YouTube, you have this dashboard and you do get like the quick overview of how this video does, and you have the ranking from the views. It's all German, so I'm gonna on the fly translate that to you. And if you hover here, you can see a list of 10 videos, of your recent 10 videos, how they were doing the first day and, well, actually the time that this video is performing right here. So this is 1 day and 21 hours, and the Australia habitat is quite doing super well. It is way in front of the cassowary one, and then the kangaroo and stuff like that. And you can actually see that the flight simulator really does by far the weakest at the moment, and Planet Coaster is also just in the lower part of it. So in terms of growing the channel, it's always a good sign if your videos go to the first 3 positions, because that means that you're constantly growing the views and stuff. So you can actually also see that how many views I have. This green arrow gives you an indicator of how many views you usually have. So you see my typical area is between 3,500 and 6,500, which is quite a wide range, which also is down to the fact that some different games do perform so inconsistently that it kind of changes a little bit how this value is, and but you can definitely tell that this video is quite a little bit outside of the norm. Then you can see how many people actually clicked on the impressions. So impressions are mostly way higher than the stuff that you have, but we're going to look at this video a bit more in detail. Now you can see this is the video analysis, and we are going to look at this first, and then I'm going to show you how it works when I do set up a new video, because I will basically together with you set up the video for today, Tuesday, which is the franchise mode, and so you will actually be able to see how I do set this up. Now this is the video analysis. Clicking on here again, I will blur out the revenue for that one, because just again I can tell you it's between 20 and 30 euro at the moment for this video, so it's not that much. But which is really interesting about this video, you can see the behavior of people, how they consume the video. So obviously in the first 2 hours, it actually works pretty well, and then the whole system declines. The next day you have a little bit of stuff, and then it starts to level out and basically will stay here. So you can see the video does not really gain any more good views. So we have like 50 views an hour, which is, not really any kind of value that would make this video grow. And you can see in terms of the behavior, again, it had a little potential of kicking off, but then again, it didn't kick off at all. So as soon as you have this wave going like that, you can basically tell that this video is not going to be triggered by the algorithm. It's a little bit more because people of my channel seem to be interested, but it didn't really kick off. You can see we made 15 subs with this video directly. That, it's also a bit vague as well, because that's only those people who really clicked on the sub button on this channel. It doesn't really count the people that click on my channel just to see if I have other interesting content and then do sub the video. So it's not really 100% accurate, but it does really work. So this is how this shapes up. You can also see 1,264.8 minutes have been watched of this video, and you can see how many liked it and how many disliked it. This is even doing a little bit better, and you can see this is very new, where the key moments in the video are and where the highest retention is. So that means where the most people kicked out. And so for example, here we have a little bit more, so people do actually skip here quite a lot, which is obvious because that's where the tour begins and I have the skip mark. And this is why I lately said, you know, whenever I caught you guys skipping through the video, it's basing on this data, you know, because you can actually see where people do skip mostly, and then you have like a very good idea of where people would actually skip, and just use that as a little funny thing in the video. So that's, you know, not magic, it's just looking at the data and then just kind of taking your results and bring them into the video. You can really see like continuous segment. You can really see how that is just a little bit of a flattened thing. This is where the most people stayed and no one was actually going away. So that is the first bit of the interesting build, it seems. And you also have the spikes, so where the most people came back in, and that is basically this area where the time-lapse ends, and then where we go into the tour. Now, let's have a look into the actual reach, and you can see this video has been published on YouTube to people 75,000 times, and 8.8% of people clicked on it, which is pretty dang good, to be honest. The only question I again have to YouTube is why this value is so low, because honestly that is just like a few percentages above my actual sub count, and usually that value should be way higher. So you could actually tell that potentially my tagging wasn't good, maybe the thumbnail didn't work out well, I don't know, because I really much doubt it, because the click rate is really good, so the thumbnail should be good in that kind of sense. But you can definitely tell that most people did do this via the YouTube search, and obviously this is the normal function of the sub feed. And then you have like new people coming in via the YouTube search, and only 5.1% clicked on the notification, only 4.1% clicked on a video on the right hand side of your screen when you watch another video, and so on and so forth. It's a little bit of a finicky thing to look at, but yeah, you can see that 1.9% of people came from external sources, and 30% of those, so meaning not even 1% of the overall audience, came from Google search, and the other 25% from Reddit. So it's quite a very low number, to be honest. And you can actually see what the keyword was, where the people were looking at, and this is like Planet Zoo all over the place, and then you have still my name, Rudy Rentcamel, and then all the other tags I used. So it's quite a little bit of a problematic thing, because that is such a gigantic tag word, and this is mostly this tag word is connected to the lady at this point in time, just from standpoint of the algorithm. She's the one who's mostly on top of it. So whenever someone searches for Planet Zoo, it will mostly be lady or some big YouTubers like Let's Game It Out or so, who are on top of it. And so this is why it's pretty hard for me anyways to get in there. So I always have to do it via some more tricky taggings and stuff, but that's fine, you know, whenever you get it. But this is how the game on YouTube works. You just have to be there on top, and if you're not in the top 3 to 5 videos, people won't click at you when they're searching for something, and so it's very important to really get an idea. We also will look into how the tagging works just in a second, but we will first of all go through here. Yeah, if you go to playlists, you can see these are the playlists from where people jumped over to here, but since it's only 0.3% of 10,000, so meaning 300 people, only 33% of those, like 111 people around-ish, came from a temporary playlist they created themselves, and another 100 people came from the Summer Lake playlist, which makes sense because that is the next video in the Summer Lake playlist. It's still very low though. I don't like this song. Let me skip this song, please. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's continue with the interaction, which is pretty good in this video. We have a good retention, we have a good value of like to dislike, and we have a, well, very poor click rate on the end cards, which, I don't know, I think it's mostly because people look that up quite often, and once they have it done a few times, they don't do it again. Makes sense. Okay, let's go back to the target group, and this is where it really gets interesting. Now, this is, as you can see, a very interesting value over here, and this is a very abnormal video. This video shows that from the moment this video has been published, 56.2% of subs have watched this video, and 43.3% of people without a sub have watched this video. So that means, I'm just going to open that a little bit more over here. You can see over time that subs obviously start being at the beginning, and then non-subs catch up until a point where more non-subs basically watch the video. The one thing that is really interesting, and we are going to look at the channel in a second, that I still have above 50% on the channel that are constantly watching this video without being subbed. So this is always like a very high chance, if people like this content, that they really want to see that and really want to sub to this channel. I really would love to see that. We're not going to go into revenue because I just would need to blur out too much. But yeah, so this is going to be very interesting to see how this is at the end. You can see most people come from the US, then Germany, then UK, then Netherlands, and France. So very interesting indeed. Now let's jump back to the channel dashboard. Oh no, before we do so, let me just show you quickly the tagging because I forgot about that. So we go into the details, and you can see this is my copy, blah blah blah, everything is set up. But you see the taggings over here, and I'm using TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy shows you with these little numbers here once a tag really worked out for you. And this video really performed poorly. The only video, like even with this very weird tagline, Planet Zoo Corals, I'm only the 7th highest ranked video that has this tag. I have no clue which are the 6 videos that are in front of me that have also Planet Zoo Corals, but this is quite interesting that I'm not even here in the best. However, Great Barrier Reef, I'm still very good, and Planet Zoo Franchise Mode, which slipped in here for whatever reason, is here. You can see with Planet Zoo I'm not even ranked, so that means you won't find this video basically via Planet Zoo easily. It's not in your search area because it's so bad. So this video did really perform not that well, even though it has high views, which is because it's, I think, just a very good video for my subs, but in general it doesn't really do well. Now let's go back to the channel dashboard. I'm going to show you a video which was really a surprise for me, and that is the flight sim video number 1, which is the Disney World one. I'm just going to go in here and show you the details of that one. So this one was very surprising for me, and you can see this is the reason why it performed absolutely great. I have 4 tags in here where I'm either first or second worldwide on this tag. So Flight Sim Disneyland, Microsoft Flight Simulator Disneyland, Flight Simulator Disney World, and Walt Disney World Flight is all amongst the first 2 videos that people will find online. And since quite a few people looked for that, this is the first video that's going to be published for them. And if we skip into the analytics of that one, you will actually see a quite interesting difference in the reach. You can see way more impressions, like 273,000 times it has been published to people, and 9.3 people actually clicked on it. It's even better than the Planet Zoo video, even though Planet Zoo is really the content of my channel. And then you have the interaction, which started out being very bad, and then over time, when the algorithm actually kicked in, it really started to be way better, and that helps as well. You can also see that there was quite a good retention in this video. And if we go to target group, this is the really interesting bit over here. Look at that. This is nearly 90% people without a sub watch this video, and obviously because of that I made 45 subs, which is not that much, but it also is kind of easy to explain, because once they watch that video they may like this one, but then they check my channel and they see there's not much flight sim on there, so they are not subbing, you know. So it's, you know, considering that my channel is totally different, 45 people is still very good. Yeah, but that said, let's jump back to my overall channel analytics, which is over here, and then you can really tell in this video, in this overview, we just go to target group, and this is really the really important bit over here. There you go. We are still at over 55% in the past 28 days, so it got better, you know, but that's not a good sign, of people watching without a sub. And that means overall, the amount of people constantly watching my video, 55.5% of the people, so more than every second person constantly watching my video more than once, are watching it without being subbed to the channel. And this is also why I'm always like could you just do me a favor and sub to my channel? Please deactivate that bell, whatever. I don't want to annoy you, but just help me grow in because you like my content, and that's the easiest way of, like, you know, support me for free. That's actually pretty cool. You don't need to pay me. You don't need to even watch a advertisement or whatnot. You can even use an ad block. I don't even care, you know. But if people would sub, you know, just have me in their list. That helps me to have this initial boost that I just showed you to make these videos appear a bit more in the algorithm and make me ranked better in those things. And you can really see also where people come from, and I think it's a pretty easy thing to say that Lady rules Planet Zoo at the moment, and Paul is just behind her. So Paul is also way before me when it comes to tagging and stuff. So these two are really in the algorithm when it comes to Planet Zoo at the moment. And yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. But you can see we made quite a few subs in the last couple of days. So 1.6 thousand in the last 28 days. And if I show you the last 90 days, which is also, oops, that's the last 7 days, the last 90 days, you can actually see it's a really good, like, you know, that's the effect of the DLC. That's pretty normal. But you can also tell from this graphic that the amount of people without an abo and without a sub, I should say, that's the German wording, is actually really not great. But what's actually pretty cool, that the amount of female people watching is growing constantly, and I like that a lot. So it's really cool to see this. Now, as we've done that, let's jump over to really preparing a video. Let's go back to the dashboard. You can see still the Australia is my last one. We go to videos, and now you can see on videos, there is this non-published video at the moment over here. That's the Lush Koala Habitat Australia Oak Street Zoo. And if we go here, you can edit this, you can go to analytics, you can do commentaries, which I don't have yet. You check the monetization, which I'm going to show you too, and we have some more options here. You just go for, first of all, we go into the details, and you see I've already done the headline, which is that one over here, and then I pack like a few tags down here in the first 3 lines, which is also important for, you know, the algorithm to make sure that it finds you and stuff. And then I'm always like, okay, so this is City Zoo, Planet Zoo, City Zoo, Planet Zoo, Classic Zoo, gameplay, franchise, that's what it is, game, and Australia pack. We could also go in and say even Planet Zoo Koala if you want, but that's just kind of making it over the top. And then we have a little copy here just to describe what this video is about. We have the link, as always, to the collection so that you can download the same items that I'm using in here. And then you have another description of what Planet Zoo is. You have my social links to my different channels, to my live stream and stuff. And you also have my specs and the little hint that my music that I'm using also right now is all provided by Epedemic Music Sound. But don't you think it's for free? I do pay monthly for them. You know, I do pay monthly $20 for using the music. And if my channel continues on growing like that, I will have to pay more soon, because as soon as you are over 1 million views a month, it's a little bit more expensive. But, you know, we are not quite there, even though I wouldn't complain if we would get there. Now, let's go to the end card elements, because that's all new, because it's now all an overlay. And you can see at the end of the video, it automatically jumps there. You can see I always have my overlay, you know, and then basically what you can do, I have a template, and just go and import that template from the last video. There you go. And you can see now if I just drag it over, you can see that everything fits in here. This one is not really aligned perfectly, but it's too hard to find the right spot. I'm just always like kind of trying to move that in, but I can only skip forward with the arrow keys here. So yeah, well, it just stays where it is, I guess. Otherwise, I just need to redo the overlay, and I'm too lazy for that. I'm sorry. But you can see then just scrolled over here. And what you could do though, you can actually make this shorter if you want, but I think they are already as long as they can be. So actually, no, I could make that shorter so that only when I point at that, I would make it appear. But you know what, I'm just gonna make them all appear at the same time. So the overlay comes, boom, there you go, it all works. And the only thing you do is just pretty much save it over here, and then it's in. So that's not that much work. I could also give that a different link. I can change the text and stuff. Then we go to the info cards. And the info cards are pretty much important, because they help you to see what this is linked to. So mostly what I do is I start off doing that here, and then I'm just going to create a video, and I'm basically putting in the last one of the series. That's the first thing I have. Then I skip a little bit in, and the next thing I'm going to put there is the playlist of this series for those people who want to see the playlist, okay? So that's done for the beginning. I don't want to annoy you even more. Then I go in. I just look for another kind of good performing video on the channel lately. That's that one. This is the one I put in the middle. I do have this kind of strategy, always the same. And then I put kind of towards the end of the video, somewhere in here, for those people who still seem to enjoy my content quite a lot, because people that watch over here are mostly the people that are really interested in my stuff, like the core people. And mostly what I do is I put a video that is not really within the range of this particular game. This is a different content. So what I'm doing is I put a flight sim video here, because those of you who are really content wise a little bit more loose to my actual content but more stuck to me as a person or my overall channel might like this more than the people who just jump in at the beginning. I don't want to misguide them, you know, they come in for this content, so I want to give them this content. And at the very end, mostly I'm just going to put anything, to be honest, or if I have a different link or whatnot, I'm just going to look at what I want to boost a little bit. And I think at the moment, if there's anything I want to boost, it's that koala habitat. So 5.1 are allowed, so I'm gonna do this, put them in, done. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, pretty handsome, whatever, handy is the word I wanted to go. So this is all done. Here, hit save, it's all saved, okay? And the next thing I'm gonna do is I schedule that, okay? So I'm gonna schedule this for tonight at 17:30. This is mostly the time I'm gonna do this, and not for tomorrow, actually for today. Say ready and save that bit, okay? So that's easy. Quite easily done. I haven't done the tagging yet, so what I can quickly do is I'm gonna go out here, and what I do is basically I go back to the old franchise thing, and then I've got this little copy button over here, and then I can go back to the video. Mostly I'm just opening 2 tabs, but since I have this filming area right now set, I am not doing that. So you go back in here, scroll all the way down, and you put in the tags. And basically what I need to do now is delete the ones that are not fitting anymore, because that is, hey, don't you do this. And basically the rest is still fitting, because these are the general tags. I should change them a little bit more, but what I need to do now is, like, say planet zoo koala climbing, kind of, you know, just giving that a little bit more of a proper fit to this video, and then it really fits. So this is what I'm mostly doing, just deleting half of them and then kind of making them really suit to that one video, and hit save again. Pretty much done. Okay, so now if you go to the overview, you will see that you have this little kind of clock icon here, and that tells you that this is now scheduled. When I was on holiday, basically there were like 10 videos scheduled over here. I really put in a lot of work making this, but the last thing we haven't done, and this is also to show you how much work this actually is, you go to monetization, and now, well, I do have the monetization on. I just go and overlay, sponsored, skippable ads. I don't give you the non-skippable ones because they are freaking annoying and no one wants them. And then it automatically turns on the mid-rolls. And lately YouTube, for whatever reason, just completely went nuts with it. Look at that. I didn't do anything. You have seen that, right? I just clicked there, and now YouTube just puts in a million ad breaks for whatever reason. We don't want that, okay? So what I'm mostly doing, I'm just really deleting all of them but 2. If this video is like over 40 minutes, you know, I have a rule that everything over 30 minutes gets 2, and everything below 30 minutes just gets 1. If you have more in some of the late videos, this is because I haven't really checked that YouTube did this in the past all of a sudden with an update, and I did that. So I'm spreading them out a little bit, you know, so that you're really not annoyed. I mean, these are now 2 little ads on over 45 minutes of content. I really think you guys can bear with it, and that is just a very little thing you help me with without actually paying. So I'm just going to put them here, and if I would click on automatically, I just don't do this. Let me just show you quick. I'm putting on saving that now. Just going to save this quickly, so I'm not going to destroy. So let's go back in and click on the automatic thing over here. Let's say change, and look at that, boom, it just completely puts 5 breaks in again. You don't want that. I mean, YouTube obviously does this to optimize in terms of making money for them, but this is not what you guys want. It's not optimized for subs, you know, it's not optimized for people, you know, loving the content. So apparently that is something you really want to look into when you do this type of content for people, and, you know, want to make sure that they're happy. But yeah, so that was a basic overview of what is going on our channel. We can also just quickly skip into the comment section. You can see how this looks for me. So you can see this is how the comment section looks, and I just can, you know, give the people a direct feedback. I see if I have something to to approve, or something that is considered spam. So I'm gonna go in here, and you can also see, let me just quickly check. So many people now commenting on old videos. That's pretty interesting. I have quite a lot of work to do, as you can see. You can see that all of these comments haven't been answered or whatnot. These are the ones I already worked yesterday. So let me just show you something which is really cool as well. I'm just going to see where I have something. You can also see that this person is a top commenter. You know, everyone who's got this little purple heart icon is a top commenter. So the more you comment, I see this highlighted by YouTube, and you can see this is someone who subbed already for 3 years, which is really cool. So these are the very loyal people. And you can also see the members. I'm just gonna, oh, there's some spam which hasn't been seen. Let's quickly just delete that. It doesn't even, you know, I did report them a time, but it doesn't help. So I just stopped at some point. I just want to show you, where is a member posting? My members are very loyal, but there you go. Charlotte, for example, she's a member, and she's even got this little icon here. She's a member for 1 month, and if you go into the member overview, you even see all of them, which, you know what, I have to edit this video anyways, so I'm just going to go to monetization now, and you can actually see that if I go to members, you can see I have 9 members at this point in time. The last members are Eine Meinung, Charlotte, Tapele, and some others in here. So in case you guys want to help me out, you can become member, and then you can see this all over here. And you can see that there is like not really much money I make out of that, but that's fine, you know, that's just because of this. And I have to, basically, you can't see what this is all over here because I have to blur it all out. But this is it. And you can actually see, which is pretty cool, you do see all the comments of the members right over here. And you see the logos you get, you can see the emotes that you get. So quite a cool stuff that is in here. But now I hope you get a little bit of a better sense in 28 minutes nearly of what I do in my actual YouTube channel when I'm preparing this stuff for you. So I really hope you find this interesting. Please let me a comment, leave me a comment in the section down below if that was interesting, and if you have any kind of questions, let me know. And if you want me to do this in the future again, just let me know. I really do appreciate all of your support, ongoing support. You are the best, and this is a little thank you for you, just showing this very transparent to you, just showing you that I'm not making anything like, you know, for the sake of making it or whatever. I just want to just give this transparently to you. I really hope you appreciate that. Now, see you in the next one. Have a good time, and goodbye, everyone.